All right, good morning, Ali, and welcome to the session, everyone. And if you could go ahead in the chat, just type and let me know if whether you are an instructor or an administrator or both. Let's get it started like that. So please tell me about yourself. Both, Maggie, Marion, instructor, both. Okay, good, good. Transition specialist. Okay. Cam, welcome. Brett, Lydia, okay, good. So here's the thing. I normally should speak about 5 cognitive science sites, but since you are here, you took the time to participate with us or to join the summit, and I think I want to offer you one more. So I'm going to make it 6 for you instead of 5. Let me tell you a quick story. My background is in adult education like you. I have had experiences as instructor, administrators, and also an instructional specialist. Here's the story there's a story I hear over and over again. I work with teachers and then they will tell me, oh, guess what? I teach this class, I give instruction to my students, and I ask them to do this. And then when they come back the next day, everybody forgets what I taught the previous day. Everybody forgets what we discuss in class, and I'm having a bad time with that. What should I do? How many of you have experienced a similar situation where you do everything and then student come back, they forget everything? Anybody? Erica, thank you. Erica said yes. Yep. Brett, yep. It is a common story that people struggle with student not remembering things, not doing what they're supposed to do. And sometimes you wonder why, what's the problem? So to tackle this challenge, I want to share with you 5 things you can do, you can think about as you plan and your teacher class that will help you maximize your student learning, and also that will help your student do better in class. So is everybody ready to go? If you're ready, say yes, because we don't have a lot of time. We're going to keep going quickly. Great, let's go. So I can't tell you about the insight before I tell you about cognitive science. Now, do me a favor. Tell me, what do you know about cognitive science? How do you define cognitive science? Everybody, you have 40 seconds. Just give me your insight in the chat. How our brain work to hold on to information. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Erica. Brain research. Rachel just add scientific brain processes. Good. Okay. The study of learning. Good. Thank you. Audrey said it's the study on how our minds think. Thank you. Yes. You are all on the right track. Technically, when I say cognitive science for the purpose of this presentation, this is what this is exactly what I mean. I'm talking about how the brain works, and then also I'll clarify for you the difference between the brain and the mind. So a little bit of background. I am an SIT graduate, and I own my master's in teaching from the School for International Training. I own a master's of science in learning design and technology from Purdue, and I currently do research in technology implementation and adult learning at Gates State University. Just a quick background. You probably read about me before, but I wanted to quickly say that so that you know where from which perspective I'm talking about this topic. So quickly, what we're going to do today is define cognitive science. I already asked you, some of you already contributed to that, and I'm going to discuss the six cognitive science insight with you. And every time I discuss one, I'll go ahead and then see how we can integrate that quickly in our work. Okay, so you define, the way most of you define cognitive science is accurate. It is technically, it's the study of the mind, but most importantly, what you need to know about cognitive science, it is an interdisciplinary field where you have a bunch of fields together. They work together to study the mind. So an example of fields you can consider in cognitive science is philosophy, psychology, artificial intelligence, neuroeducation, neuroscience, linguistics, and anthropology. Those fields create the body knowledge that I use in my work, that to develop the books in that CBL has on the market, and also to present on the topic. Let's go to the insight. Number one, everybody, working memory. You know, we have working memory and we have long-term memory, but the first thing you need to know is that your student working memory, that's what captures the information you share with them, and that has limited space. If I ask you, how many number you have on your phone number? Look at how many number you have in it. Do you have 20 or you have 7? Anybody? 10, 7, and there is a reason for that, because there's a way, the numbers is created a way for student to capture, for you to capture the number. So keep that in mind. As you teach, you share information with student, their capacity to absorb the information is limited, very limited. That's the first principle you need to keep in mind. If you give student more information than they can handle, you're gonna lose them pretty quick. Anybody agree with that? If you disagree, say you disagree. If you agree, you can go ahead and say agree in the chat. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we usually remember the gist, the meaning of words and concept in our brain, in our long-term memory. We don't remember the exact word. That's the second principle. Whether you teach reading, ELA, ESL, please do not forget that. Student will remember the meaning of the thing you teach, not the exact word. So your focus should be the meaning, not the vocabulary word itself. Example, if you use a word table in your class, you define that for a student. That doesn't mean the student will remember that, because you need to put it in a context so student can take that context and then think about the meaning and say, oh, that's what it is. Because table means different thing in different contexts. To table a discussion is not the same thing as sitting at the table to eat your dinner. So please remember that. So if you want your student to remember your concept, content, and anything you teach, the key is meaning. Number three, you and I, there's something we need to know. Our memory is not the product of what we want to remember. I'll tell you, there are good things in your life, good past experience you want to remember, but you don't. But there are experiences that you kind of remember, just even though you don't choose to remember them. So technically, it's because those things, there's one process that it's a process of thinking that make them stick. And that being said, your student will remember more whatever they think about. That's one thing you need to remember. You teaching concept, when you teach it one day, you want to revisit that next week, the week after, and you want to create opportunity for your student to revisit the content, to think about it. That's why teaching word, vocabulary, concept, ESL, a structure in a vacuum doesn't help your student, because you need them to think about your content and your concept. Without thinking about them, they might not remember them. So when you plan your lesson, The key strategy is how do you make students think about the function, the concept, and the content you are going to teach. And I'm going to share a strategy with you that can help you do that. So how many of you know there is a golden rule about test taking strategy? What is the best test taking strategy that you know? Anybody can share with me in the chat. Go ahead. What is the best test taking strategy do you know? Read the question number 1, okay? Test taking strategy, okay? How about your best test taking test preparation strategy? Let's talk about test preparation now. Thank you. Connect to something else. What is the best way you prepare a student for a test? Study. What else? Eat a good meal. Okay. Thank you for test taking strategy. How about test taking preparation? Review. Somebody said review. What else? Notes, written notes, spoken note. Okay. Review notes for okay. Every day. Leslie, thank you. I want to go with Leslie on that one. And who else? Sleep between study session. Gino, I like that. Yeah. So here's what you need to remember. And when you prepare your students for testing, this is the rule you don't want to break. In cognitive science, you need to focus. In cognitive science, we found out that your student can do better if you distribute their study and practice time. What does that mean? That means there is a phenomenon we call the spacing effect. The spacing effect consists of the fact that your student practice something over time, over a long period of time, the brain tend to process it in a better way, and then they tend to remember it better until it becomes like almost second nature. So you want to take advantage of this strategy. Why is that? Because you want your student to remember, and you want them to develop the skills of, going through a test and do well. No cramming. Thank you, Audrey. What you want to do, I would tell you this, what I have always told my the instructor I work with in sessions and with organization, you start test taking strategy on day 1. Whatever you want to teach, you're teaching core knowledge, you're teaching core information. At the same time, you want to take some time in your class from time to time to remember, to remind students, hey, this is what it can happen on your test, and then this is how you practice this. And then if you do that over time, over 12 weeks, your student will be better off by the end of your session. All right, is everybody ready for number 5? Yes? Okay, number 5. So number 5 is something we struggle with in the US, K-12, university, and adult education. And I want to give you this secret. Please never forget it. The type of knowledge we want our student to develop, okay? When I say the type of knowledge, reading skill, speaking skill, critical thinking skill, all of that, these skills are dependent on factual knowledge. And many people forget that, because people think, oh, information, we don't need information. Our information doesn't really have much value. We want people to think. But there's a problem. You have to have information in order for you to think. It's the same for your students. Example, as you teach American history, so in your social study class, as you teach reading, as you teach ESL reading, so pay attention to this. You want to integrate, you want to include some key content knowledge, factual knowledge in your class. If you teach math, you want to teach some factual knowledge. You want your student to be able to really to feel comfortable with basic addition, multiplication before they can do better at a higher level. It's the same thing. If you look at any CBL book on the market, we teach concept even in the basic math lesson. My core team, we're like, oh, look, we're not teaching a student anything about addition until the student learns every concept that needs to be learned and go and then do more. So don't forget, factual knowledge is key. That's what helps people think better. If I ask you to make an analysis on the war between Russia and 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 Ukraine, unless you have key information, you understand the geography, the political, stakeholders involved, US, Europe, all of that, NATO, those things, you have to have a background. You need to understand this element before you can even say something about the war. Otherwise, you can't. It's the same thing about politics, telling people, hey, you got to vote here, but the voting means something. Do I really understand what it means to vote in a system, in a democracy, things like that? Please don't forget that. Because you are all nice people, good people, I decided to add number 6 for you. It's my gift for you. It's CBL gift for you. It is this. Please, if you forget anything I just said previously, you don't want to forget the next one. The next one will help you build the best adult education program, the best teacher training program, and you will become the best administrator and the best teacher you can do. If you can use this last skill, this last insight I'm about to share with you, it is this. The human mind has a place favorite when it comes to stories. The human mind is essentially biased towards stories. You know why people stay on the phone all the time. They're looking for the next story, the next story. You know why you binge watch your show. You're looking for the next story, the next story. Just imagine if your class, your lesson were built like stories, where student can come in, you start with an opening, and then you create a tension in the middle. And then you're like, okay, we need to find a climax here somewhere. Something needs to happen, something good. Whether you teach science, social science, you teach math, you can do that. Please take this principle we call storytelling. Take it into your class, whether you teach math, whether you teach science, ESL, and then I guarantee you, your class will be better and your student will come back and they will enjoy it better. That's all I had for you. So in general, the 6th point we covered today was this. First of all, I told you, your student memory, the working memory, the capacity to receive information is limited. You wanna limit how you introduce your information. And number 2, remember, student will remember really the meaning of the word you teach, of the concept and the concept you teach. Number 3, people remember what they think about, not what they want. And number 4, please distribute your test taking practice so that your student can do better. Number 5, you want to include factual knowledge in your teaching to educate your student. And number 6, please take advantage of storytelling. And that's all I had for you today. And if you have questions, you can chat with me, and then I'll see you in my chat box if you want to say more. And then you want to get in touch with me if you would like me to. Normally, I share about 30 cognitive science insight, but if you want to talk to me, you want me to talk to your instructor, you want CBL to support you in how you build your instructional system and strategy, feel free to reach out. This is my information on the screen. And also, I think you can just contact me and let me know if you have questions, if you have anything that you wanna. Oh yes, my slide. Oh, I think I should give it to you. Indeed. Okay, folks. Let's see. How do I get you the slide? Let's see. You want the copy of my slide? I am happy to give it to you. Let's see, where can I get that for you quickly? If you want a copy of my slide, please go to this link and download it for yourself. Okay, everybody, it is in. I think, yep, that's, yeah. Let me know if you get it. Is everybody, you can get it, and that will take you right into our website and portal. Feel free to visit and then download it and send your question my way. That said, I'm done for today. Thank you everyone for coming. Send me questions.
And Teddy, thank you so much for the presentation. This was great, so interactive. You had a great group, lots of participation. And everyone, please remember, 750 points. If you go visit Teddy in the chat, you can get more information. It sounds like you all have a little bit more information you'd like. So go see him and get a chance to win that great set of books that he donated for a winner at the conference. With that, we will cut you loose to go plan your schedule for your next session. Teddy, thank you for joining us this year. Next year, we will be live in person, and we hope that you will consider joining us as an exhibitor again next year.
Oh, yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, great.
I'll be there. I'll bring 30 insights.
You have a year to plan it.
Oh, I have a year to plan. I'll bring 30 insights. I fly out to California to bring you some more good stuff, folks.
Thank you all. Thank you, Teddy. And we will see you at different sessions throughout the day.
Thank you, folks. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.